Good morning and welcome back to the homestead. So today we're going to put the roof rafters on the summer kitchen. You'll see here we're already in progress. Not real much, not going to get a lot of audio from this, what we're doing there. So I figured I'd do a voiceover on this and kind of tell you what we're doing as we go. So these corner rafters, or what you might call the hip rafters, are a 3 by 6 hemlock beam that's 16 feet long. And in the center there's a metal structure that you saw in the previous video that these are connecting to. So we're letting Jeff screw his end down there, and then we're going to hook our end to the center section. And we have to do this 4 times, so we're going to go through and we'll do that. What we did find as we were getting set up is I'd done some math calculations incorrectly. So you'll notice we have that center section all blocked up, and it turned out to be too low. So we ended up having to lift it up and connect the other side here when we get to the other side. And that actually worked out well because, as you'll see in upcoming videos, the collar ties run uphill a little bit. It added a really nice, elegant look to it. So it was a happy accident, I guess you'd say. But we're going to come down here and we're going to go cut another one for the back. And there's 4 of these, as I said. Yeah, there you'll see we lifted it up, putting some blocking under it to get it closer to where it's got to be before I go down. And just really, it was kind of a big job, kind of a lot of weight, a lot of things to pay attention to here, getting these first 2 or 3 up to hold everything in place. It was great to have a few extra pairs of hands here. This would have been a tough job for just Sue and I. It's amazing at how heavy green hemlock is, but so we're excited. This project is coming along really nice. Everything seems to be going well. Um, Sue's actually hauling compost down to the garden while we're doing this with the tractor. We've got a garden spot that we'll show here in an upcoming video that's probably 50 or 60 feet wide and close to 100 feet long, and she's hauling composted horse manure down there, and we'll till that in a little later. But there you see we lifted the center column up and attached that second rafter. Now it's holding itself up with the 2 rafters, and we'll go do a third one to make it stable. I'm getting everything out of Mike's way so he doesn't trip and fall off the walkboards. It's really nice having these walkboards. You get them set up there and it gives you a really nice working platform. And as we progressed, when we got done, we actually drilled, and there's a plate that goes on the other side. Put 2 3/8 bolts through everything with a plate on the other side and cranked the bolts up tight to sandwich everything together. Here's a different view, a little better view. You'll see we got the 4 rafters up now. The battery went dead in the camera, so we didn't get the 4th rafter there on the corner closest to the camera. But you'll see we got all 4 up, and I'm cutting the actual collar ties now that go from the bottom of the rafter where it meets the wall over to the center section. And you see we're getting the first one in place. Everybody's getting some screws in it. And we'll just keep cutting these, keep installing these. We ended up, we don't have this on video, I did this later, but we did end up putting web bracing in the middle of these out of 3 by 6s as well. And you'll see that in the other videos as we go. When we show you the lighting and the sound system and stuff like that, you'll see that. But this made for a really strong roof structure, and it looks pretty cool inside with those big beams, all the exposed boards, and all the hip rafters that you'll see in part 2 of raising the roof. So in this video we're really this was when we had all the extra hands. We're putting the heavy beams in here. Sue and I went back and put the other beams in, other rafters, and Jeff come over and helped a couple times get those in, as well as the hip rafters. And you see Sue down there picking a few rocks, and you probably saw the tractor move around. That's the garden spot down where you see Sue walking around. She's picking some rocks out of there, and as I said, adding the composted horse manure. And she's been planting a lot of blueberry bushes too. We'll have to give you a tour as we go. Planted some grapes, blueberry bushes, a lot of other stuff. But these just wedge in under the rafter and sit on top of the top plate. The bird's mouth, that you call it, on the rafter leaves about half of the top plate exposed, so they slide right into there real nice. And then Jeff is putting some Torx-headed screws up in it, and then he come back through and put a Torx-headed leg bolt, a 6-inch leg bolt up through everything. And on Mike's end up in the middle, we're putting a couple short Torx-headed leg bolts, and then we went back and drilled it for two 3/8 bolts and nuts in flat plates. So that's pretty much, what there is to it there. You see, we're just about done with this video. So we appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come back and watch part 2.